Well, I know it's only early February, but I may have just found the TTRPG of the year. Hey everyone, welcome to Victor Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today I'm going to tell you about an RPG that might just become my 2024 TTRPG of the year. And that is Shadowdark from Arcane Library and Kelsey Yoon. This is a 325-page book. This hit Kickstarter, did phenomenally well, did millions of dollars, and I don't know if it did millions, but it did over $1 million. I know that. I backed it because it was a fellow content creator, and I wanted to see them succeed, and I really like the offering that they put up for this book. As you can see, this is the standard edition. This came in right at the end of the year for me. It came in right after I had done my most anticipated list for 2024 and for my TTRPGs of 2023. Kickstarter backers got this towards the end of the year of 2023 and maybe even the beginning of 2024. So I don't know where it kind of would have fallen in those lists. So, and I didn't really get a chance to read this until I was out on the road doing conventions. And once I started reading it, I fell in love with it immediately and was super enamored with it. Had to go out and onto the second market and buy a second copy just because I loved it so much. Because you know me, I'm a weirdo and I love getting those like library copies if I love a game, one that I'm going to play and use at the table all the time, and then one to kind of put on my shelves and look pretty because, you know, I'm a weirdo. But yeah, it's such a great book. This gives you some old school D&D feels with some new school mechanics. Kelsey's really done a great job of kind of mixing the two. So if you like that kind of OSR type of feel, but yet you like some stuff that's kind of newer and more narrative, this is definitely a product for you. This is a D20 system. It uses standard polyhedral dice. Basically, you're rolling for a difficulty rating, trying to meet or exceed to succeed. 9 is easy, 12 is hard, 15 is very hard, 18 is impossible, almost. So yeah, it's very kind of more Borgish in a way, but this definitely has more rules than that system. And I will tell you that if you're a fan of Morkborg, this is a great book to give you inspiration. If you don't like Morkborg, this is a great book to pick up because it gives you more rules. Because basically, one of the common complaints about Morkborg is that it's too rules light, and this definitely is not that. In fact, the pages, the first 100 pages are just rules for the players, and the rest are roll tables for GMs and GM tips and everything, and then a monster bestiary, which is great because the bestiary and the monster section in this book is really well done and gives you tips on how to create your own adversaries, which is super cool. And I'm going to use that all the time. In fact, I think Kelsey even did a video that kind of walks through how to create your own adversaries in Shadowdark, which was super, super helpful. Now, what is Shadowdark? Shadowdark is like a dungeon crawl TTRPG, and I know what folks are going to say, Doug, isn't there enough of these out on the market? Yeah, there are, but you know what? Every once in a while you come across one that's just really well done and really kind of captures everything that you like about TTRPGs, and I think this Shadowdark definitely does. The setting is basically, everything's dark, you're in a dungeon, you're just, somewhere, and light is your resource. Light, you're using torches. Torches they provide light up to a certain distance around you, and they burn for an hour, and that's an hour in real time. So as you're at the table, you say, I'm firing up a torch. It's running for an hour, and you better have another torch to light up once that hour's over, because the major twist with this setting is that all the adversaries and well, I wouldn't say all of them, but the majority of them all have like night vision, so they can see you, but you can't see them. You can only see like within the area of your torch, which is super cool. I love that so much, just because you're always like wondering what's out there that could attack you, right? That you're not seeing, but that sees you. I think that's super creepy. It uses 6 core attributes, like most typical fantasy RPGs: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And usually you have some sort of modifier between -4 and +4, and you roll d20 plus your modifier, and as long as you hit that target number that the difficulty rating is, you succeed at what you want to do. There are some ancestries that you can pick for your character. You can be a dwarf, elf, goblin, half-orc, halfling, and human, I believe. You have 4 different classes, which I wish there was a little bit more, but I totally get it. That's a standard kind of class. You've got fighter, priest, thief, and wizard. And I think and since the Kickstarter, Kelsey's kind of put out rules for other classes as well. So they're just not included with the core rule book. They got sent out PDFs. I think it has some great mechanics, and it's just a great resource. There's tons of roll charts in here. Like a good section of the middle of the book is just roll charts. In fact, while I was reading it originally, I'm like, roll chart. I was like, oh my god. But if you're a GM and you want to make up stuff on the fly, it's a great resource book. The other thing that I'll mention is that this book does a great job of kind of letting you modify stuff. Like, it actually tells you, what? This is just kind of a suggestion. You don't have to do everything by this book. In fact, there's tips on how to make it a meat grinder. So if you want to play something that's kind of like the DCC, like Zero Funnel, you can do it like that. If you like to do something that's a little more campaign based, totally do it that way. There's just all sorts of different tips. So I love the fact that there's all sorts of different ways to play this game. And I think it just gives you a lot of options, and you're going to have players that are going to want to keep coming back to it. The other thing that I'll tell you is that the book does do a great job of putting examples of play in here. So if you're a new player, this is a great book to kind of learn the system, learn how TTRPGs are like. And I think that that's really super important because we when we're in the hobby, you kind of forget that this is kind of a niche thing, and that as popular as TTRPGs are right now, there's still a lot of folks that are finding it. And I think this book right here is a great book to introduce to new players, right? Like, I think that 100 pages of rules, and really even 100 pages isn't really that. You could probably boil it down to a much less page count, but it's easier. It's a little more what's the word I'm looking for? It's digestible, right? Like, you can consume that in a sitting or two, and you probably get up and running in 10 minutes. The other thing that I will tell you is that if you are interested in trying out this game, there's a totally free quick start. Totally free. If you go to drivethrurpg.com, I'll put a link to it in the description, and also you can get it on Arcane Library's website. You can download the rules for free. It's got a great player's guide. It's got a great GM guide, and kind of gets you up and running. And I think it gets you to a level 3 character. And if you love that, which I think you probably will, throw a copy in your online cart and pick up Shadowdark. And then there's even some of the zines that Kelsey has put out since the Kickstarter, or that were part of the Kickstarter, I should say. And just, you can even buy the quick start and print if you wanted to. This is going to be hitting retail, so I guess that's probably why it would probably hit my 2024 list, just because once a game hits retail, which I think it's going to hit around March or April, then it kind of it becomes a 2024 release in my mind. Whether or not that makes sense, I don't know. But yeah, this book right here, definitely right up there with my top RPGs of 2024 so far. It's crazy good how this is. and the art is really well done. It's got some great artists and some great black and white line art in here. And yeah, if you're looking for something that's kind of old school, but not super crunchy, Shadowdark, pick it up. It's my TTRPG of the year so far. Be interesting to see if any of my most anticipated RPGs knock it off the list, because yeah, this is definitely a fantasy RPG that I will want to play over and over and over again. If you're a fan of Shadowdark, let me know in the comments. If you haven't picked it up yet, but now you were thinking about picking it up, let me know in the comments as well. If you like these types of videos, please hit that like button. I really greatly appreciate everyone that tunes in, and I'm excited to play more Shadowdark in 2024 and beyond. It's got a great community already behind it, and I think it's going to just keep building. And it's exciting to see, you know, a book like this. I love this size, by the way. I think, you know, this is definitely the size that the industry is kind of swinging towards. Those big, you know, I don't know, what size are those, 8.5 by 11s or whatever. I think this is definitely the go-to size that is the sweet spot for this industry right now. So let me know if you are a fan of Shadowdark, and because I just been enamored with it since I picked it up. All right, that's going to do it for this video. Remember, winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time.